something before in the chat.
Yes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the MotorMotion Supercars Round 1 here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. A lap around the course to show you guys just exactly how tricky it is to get these cars around here. Joining me in the commentary box tonight, I have a couple of special guests. I've got Mr. Kez Audio and Mr. Mick, otherwise known as Disposable Hero. So welcome, guys. Thank you for giving your time tonight for this. This is quite an honour to have you guys here.
Hey, Scotty, it feels special now. Pleasure.
So this is our inaugural Supercars series. We've been working pretty hard on this over the last few months to put this all together. We are running stock standard cars, which we are tuning to represent those of the Gen 3 V8 supercars that the Supercar series will be running in real life this year, the Camaro and the Mustang. Our drivers had a choice of which car they wanted to choose. It was slightly stacked in the in the Camaro's favour.
Wonder why that is, Scotty.
Yeah, don't know.
More Holden fans than Fords.
Yeah,
seems to be
go the Holdens.
Yeah, art imitating life. There seems to be the way for the grid for the supercars next year also.
Yes, there are going to be more Camaros on the grid next year than Mustangs, but I guess that's just the way it goes. So hopefully in seasons to come we'll see that balance out a bit more often. We'll see that balance out a bit more. So a little bit of info about the cars. These are the cars that we're running. They're stock standard. We're running the Camaro SS, the 2016 model, and the Mustang is the Shelby GT350. Our good mate Ando, who will be joining us later on, has worked tirelessly over the last few months to get these cars pretty much even around here. There's been a lot of testing involved to get this done, so absolute thank you and praise to Ando for getting this done.
Yeah, they've done well. I joined a couple of chaps in a lobby where you're doing your testing and realised that you had to put every bolt on that you had to.
Yeah, pretty much. We've had, I think the cars, the Mustang I think was a bit cheaper than the Camaro when you purchase it from Brand Central, but I think all up you end up spending a good couple of $100,000 just purchasing upgrades.
Yeah, I don't think it can be understated the work that's gone into it, because when you apply BOP, it's easy. The game does it for you, but when you've got to tune them themselves to try and get parity,
yes,
yeah, there's a bit of work goes into it. So hats off to those guys that are really chipped in to get that up to where it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to know what you're doing with tuning too. Like I don't know a lot about tuning, so this is a first for me. This series, I usually try to stay away from tuning events, but I thought I'd give this one a go just for something a bit different. And
you got to try and utilise the game for what it's for.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, exactly.
All the original GTs until we got to sport, we're all that base, you know. But buy stuff, whack it on.
Yeah,
get
for
the
sure.
toolkit out and either make it better or turn it into an absolute disaster.
Yep. You'll either hook up an absolutely beautiful lap, or your car will just spin its tyres and you'll be facing the way you've come from pretty quickly.
Let's see if the ladies and gentlemen have got it together today and not facing the wrong way.
Yes,
especially around this track, it's quite easy to do.
Oh yes.
Old turn 3.
Yeah.
And turn 1, and 4, and 5,
and 6 and 7.
Just about all of
them. Yeah, so I might just jump out on track now and give you all a bit of a course guide and show you just what it takes to get one of these cars around this circuit. This setup that I've got for this, I've actually altered a little bit for the next round, so it's not the exact setting I had for this round, but it's still pretty close. So as you can hear, these cars sound awesome, especially when they're sitting in the pits getting, tyres put on, and you hear the blah 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 blah, blah from the engine. Throaty V8 sound. the main thing with these cars is your throttle control. You have got to be so careful coming out of the throttle, coming out of these turns.
This one here's a good one to snap sideways and put you into that right side of the fence.
The amount of times at that turn in practice that I spent in the wall, if I had $1 for it, I'd probably be a millionaire by now.
Yeah, there's no real sweeping turns, is there? They're all 90 degrees or sharp bends.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
Pretty easy to run wide there too, on the left there into the gravel track.
And because these cars have, once they're all tuned up, they've got the speed of a like a Group 3 car in the game, but they don't have anywhere near the handling capabilities of a Group 3. And because I mainly race Group 3s and Group 4s on this game, this is what I play it for, I've got to get out of that mindset that I'm driving a Group 3 car.
Yeah, of course.
Which is
sometimes. Scotty, flyer.
So here we go for a flyer. So coming up to turn 1 here, I'm looking for the 150 board on the left. And I want to be hard on the brakes, get as wide as I can, down into third, get it across that curve nicely, try not to run too wide there. Otherwise you get a track limit penalty. Get back on the power while watching those bumps because they will throw the car into the air and spin it around. Coming up to turn 3 here, again looking for the 150 board, hard on the brakes. You'll see some drivers will take this in third, some will take it in second. I prefer second to get a bit more rotation, then a short shift into third to get the power down quickly, get a good run out of there. Coming up here to turn 4, again we're looking for the 150 board, hard on the brakes, down into third, get it in nicely, ease the power on so that way you don't light up your rears. Coming into here, I think you're looking for just before the 50 board. You want to brake, you want to stay off your throttle, get the car rotated, get back on the power. Light brake, I think you're meant to leave it in 4th through here. Got to be careful in the Mustang coming through there because it can light up the rears easier than the Camaro. 100 board here just before, keep it in 4th. These two corners here are notorious for track limits if you run out wide. Down into third, then back across the finish line for a lap around Red Bull Ring.
Or was that a 28, was it?
It was a 28. That was probably a bit wide there. I might get a paddling for that.
Where's the penalty zone on this track?
It's on the intersection there. So
yeah, just near those last 2 turns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on that little bit of a straight there between the last 2 turns, before the last 2 turns.
Instructions are to be burn the penalties off the racing line?
Yes, off the racing line, so you've got to move over to the right-hand side of the circuit.
Yeah. Right-hand side, okay.
And you can get some penalties pretty easy, especially coming through turn 1. If you go over that sausage curb, you'll get bit.
If you go too wide at turn 1, you'll get bit. So you've got to get it just right going through there. Because it is a very bumpy exit coming out of turn 1, so you've got to be careful going over the bumps, but at the same time you've got to be careful you're not running the car wide.
Yeah, you're trying to get as much speed as possible coming through turn 1 because you've got long straight after it, so you can sort of make you go a little bit wider than you would like. Yeah.
So the right-hand side for the burning bump.
Yes. So
and
on the right-hand side of the circuit.
And that part there where you've just gone past is another tricky part of the track. Pit entry.
Yes. So as you come out of that as you come out of that second last turn there, you want to keep the car as tight to the right as possible to be able to gain the entry into the pits. Because you've got to have cars behind it, because that's an opportune overtaking spot there. So if you're going into the pits and you run the car out wide, someone's probably going to try and dive up the inside of you to gain that position, and they're going to cut you off getting into the pits.
Yeah, it compromises your entry. Yeah, 100%.
So just get back round there, and I'll pull the car up. The good thing about these cars, the good thing about these cars is they've got so much torque that you can short shift them about a quarter of the way through the rev bar and not lose any time. You'll save a heap of fuel doing so, and you'll have the car in its optimal rev band as well. So here's your penalty burn zone here. So this is where you need to be.
Yeah, but
if you get a penalty,
that makes sense. Yeah,
be over here, so that way you're not impeding any cars. But then if you don't have a penalty and you're all the way over here, as you come around this corner, you need to pull the car up a little bit more if you're going for the pits, because your pit entry is right here.
It's like one continuous radius, isn't
pretty
it?
much,
a bit sharper.
pretty much.
Yep.
So we'll try and back it up a bit without spinning it. Think opposites to get the car to turn. So I'm looking backwards. So if you're going to come around here to get into the pits and you run the car out wide and you miss the apex and you've got someone right behind you, they're going to try and go up your inside, and by the time you get to about here, they're going to be alongside you and you're not going to be able to get across to the pits.
Yeah. So and if you do, you may get your 3-second penalty.
And if you either have to go for another lap and hope that you've got the fuel to do it, or cost yourself a 3-second penalty.
And I think that the last turn is very technical as well. It's a turn that if you get the line right and the speed right, you're good up here. But if you bite off a bit more than you can chew, you can go a little bit wider and get another penalty.
Yeah. How's the tyres on this track, Scotty? Is it a big tyre wear, or what are we looking for in pits?
Tyre wear's not too bad.
Yeah. So you're governed by fuel for this event?
I think you're governed more by fuel. I think you're gonna run out of fuel before you run out of tyres.
No. So there's a bit of strategy involved.
So there is a bit of strategy involved. I mean, you don't want to be thrashing the absolute life out of your tyres.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they're going to drop off that much by the time your tank runs dry. There will be a bit of red there.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just noticing.
It's not.
What's the mandatory tyre?
There is no mandatory tyre. It is a soft tyre only.
Oh, you can only run the
series.
softs.
You can only run the softs. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no mandatory. So it's how well you can look after your tyres and how well you can manage your fuel.
So if we're a 32 lap race, you'd be looking at 2 pit stops. Would that be right?
Yeah, about then. Some people
twice,
might. Yeah, I don't think you would be able to make a one-stopper lap work, not without some serious short shifting and fuel mapping
and bleeding time.
You'd just be bleeding time, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So 2-stopper, 3 stint.
So yeah, I think that's probably the optimal for around here. Even though a pit stop is fairly lengthy at this circuit, I think just for tyres only, you're looking at nearly 30 odd seconds.
30 for tyres, okay.
Just for tyres, but then you've got to add your fuel into that as well, so that's going to blow that out even further.
Right.
But yeah, I think to try and do just a one-stopper, you'd be bleeding time to the guys in front.
Okay. Yeah. Looking forward to see what they do.
So if tyres aren't an
range
issue,
of strategies.
If tyres not an issue and it's all fuel, what's the chances of an undercut or two?
It's probably highly possible, especially if you've got someone who's if you get a bit stuck in traffic a bit and you want a bit of clean air in front of you, you might try an undercut, pit maybe a lap earlier than everyone else and get out of that traffic and get some clean air.
Yeah, passing. Well, it's all passing on the corners, isn't it? Like turn 1, turn 3. If you get a good exit out of turn 1, you'll get him down that straight, which should be good.
Yep.
Set you up for turn 3.
For sure.
And then probably just people running wide on turns 9 and 10 as well, I'd say. So yeah, could be all right. Who's putting this event on, Scotty? Who's the sponsors for this one?
The sponsor for this is Shawfires. They are, where are my notes?
Okay.
They are a signage group.
Oh, righto.
Yeah, they provide unique solutions for your signage and display needs. They can do everything from business cards and stickers to factory signage. They do vehicle wraps. Yeah, and they're very proudly sponsoring this Supercar series for us.
Vehicle wraps, isn't it? Cool. Where
that
are they
come in
based,
handy.
mate?
I'm going to need some wrap.
Yeah, I believe they're in New South Wales.
Oh, okay, Sydney somewhere.
Yep, they're in Kirrawee.
Kirrawee. Right. Very good. We'll check them out.
They're in New South Wales.
Out Cronulla way.
So yeah, they've kindly come on board with us. So we've got their logo displayed across the windscreen banner of the cars in a very prominent position.
Nice.
So yeah, you'll see that every car has the Shawfire banner on the car. So they look all nice and uniform.
So yeah, we'll forward to see how they dress themselves up. All these people.
Yeah. All right, we'll make our way over to the race itself.
What's the weather for this one today? I know it rained sometime at this Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, well, fortunately for us, the Bureau have said that there's going to be no rain. It should be nice, warm, sunny conditions.
Beautiful. A balmy evening this evening.
A nice balmy evening this evening. That's it.
Bit like Bombay, Mick.
Yep. Stinking hot there.
Yep.
So
32 laps. Okay.
We've got 32 laps around here. Our tyre multiplier is ×2, so for every lap that we do around here, it puts 2 laps worth of wear on the tyres. And our fuel multiplier is ×3, so every lap that we do, we burn 3 laps worth of fuel. So our fuel multiplier is just a little bit higher than our tyre multiplier, which is why a tank runs out more. A tank runs out faster than what your tyres do.
Righto, and the length of that pit stop, I'd imagine they'd be all throwing fresh rubber on as well.
I think
no benefit of.
No, I don't think you'd be. I think you'd probably be a bit crazy to try and double stint your tyres.
Right, okay.
I don't think. Because you have an unlimited set of tyres for your car. There's no limit on how many times you can change them.
Yep.
So yeah, you'd be crazy not to take advantage of that. So yeah, so all right, well, let's get stuck into it. And see what exciting events will unfold for us. Alright, so here we go. Pull up all the races.
So qualifying's been done, isn't it?
So qualifying has been done. We have, on pole position, we have MSR Spud. Next to him we have Rolston Hardley. Next to him we have the familiar name of Ando.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. No. He's a newcomer.
Newbie, is he?
Newbie, yep. Trying to prove his worth. Next to him we have H.C. Lewis. Next to him we have, on the next row we have Piercy. Then we had myself. Then we had Extreme New Zealander. He's the guy who organises our exhibition events at MotorMotion.
Oh, yeah.
Should probably change the view so we can see the cars. Next to Extreme we have Aussie Hypnotic.
Aussie, yep. Race with Aussie.
Yeah, I've raced with Aussie a few times. Then we have Super VT 2000, who was in the TCR pilot series, did pretty well there.
Okay, cool. Straight into the main game.
Straight into the main game, yep. Then we have Walker.
Oh, that's the Mostert livery, is it?
In the Chaz Mostert livery, yep.
He's going to Ford next year too.
Then we have Sir Dids.
I raced with Dids in one of the events you had the other week.
Yeah, I've raced
with him.
I've raced against Dids a few times. He's a good guy to race against. Then we have Chops. I've raced against Chops a few times as well. I've raced against pretty much everyone in this lobby at various other events and leagues. Then we have Rusty. Then we have Griffo.
No vacation. I think Griffo was in my race the other day as well.
Yeah, I've in another league, Griffo and I were entered into 2 series. In another league, an endurance series and a touring car series. And Griffo beat me in the endurance series, but I beat him in the touring car series. So
right.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And then we have Wayne, who unfortunately missed qualifying due to technical issues. So he unfortunately had to start from the back of the field.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No good.
So I guess that's just the way
good, he got it together, and
he was able to.
The GT gods.
The GT gods smiled upon him, and he was able to make the field. So back to the start here. So the cars are all lined up. This is a grid start with a false flag check. So if you get off the brake and move your car before the lights go out, you will incur a penalty, which slows your car down there and then. You don't serve it at the penalty line, and it makes it a nightmare for the cars behind you trying to get around you. So you've got to be very careful with these, not to jump the gun. So we will have the camera on Spud, so you can see he's on pole position for the start here. As we can see, most people are on the gas already. The revs are rising. We've got 5 red lights. They will drop, and then we will be going.
And we're off.
And we're off. Spud gets a good start.
Pearsy got a good one too.
He's got a good one too. He's made up a couple of spots already.
Rolls
tries to go up the inside, doesn't quite get there.
I think someone's gone off.
Into 3rd. Lewis into 5th as he's trying to get around Ando, trying to go around the outside. Gets a better run out of there than what Ando does out of turn 3. Pulls out, comes up alongside him, coming down here into turn 4, tries to go around the outside again. Can't quite make it stick.
Quite a few car lengths already.
Yeah. We've got Aussie, he's moved up into 6th. Then you've got Walker. He's moved up a couple of spots. Murray, no, not quite. I've dropped a couple of spots, unfortunately, but that's the way it goes at the start like this when you've got cold tyres and...
Pull your socks up, Scotty.
Yes. What was that, sorry, Kez?
A big gap there towards the back.
Yeah, bit of a gap here between Rusty and Super. However, Griffer, we've got a little bit of a train forming here. We did have some glitching issues with Wayne. I think he had the hover car. He had the hover car set up.
There he goes.
There we go.
Well, he'd be saving fuel on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And tyres.
Saving his fuel and tyres. Sticking with him though. If we move back to the front of the field, Rolls has bridged up the gap to Spud. Looks like Ando's picked himself up a penalty. That's unusual for Ando. I reckon he either picked it up at turn 1 or maybe coming out of those last couple of turns. They're notorious for giving penalties if you run wide.
It's going to give Pearsy a good go down there.
So it's going to give Pearsy a good go, yeah.
Turn 10.
For sure. We'll stick with Ando. We'll see if he'll lose a spot here coming into the penalty zone. can see just up ahead there, Rolls has parked himself right up under Spud's rear wing. So we see here, Ando moves off the racing line, car slows down. Beautifully done.
Yeah, he holds his
doesn't
hang on, you get...
This is close. He's now under pressure from both Piercy and Lewis. Oh, looks like Lewis is making a move on Piercy here. Does he make it stick? No, he pulls back in. Yeah. Pulls back in behind. Probably
Piercy might get a penalty here too.
Bold move there.
There's a good call.
Yes.
Tucking in the back there. There we go.
Spot,
he's got one.
Spot there, Kez. Piercy's picked up a penalty there. Running a bit wide at turn 1.
Battle of the brakes.
Battle of the brakes. Looks like Lewis just gets the job done. Yes, he does. So Lewis would now have his sights set on the back of Ando's car. I was about to say Aussie then, but Aussie's behind.
Good group there behind these fellas.
Yeah.
So he might lose a spot here to Aussie as he does his penalty.
Yeah, well, like with Ando, we'll stay with Piercy, see if he loses a spot or not.
If he's really got good traction coming out of those corners, he should be right. Half a second is only like a bit of a glitch, so he should be right.
Yeah, because these cars are so torquey. Yeah, a half-second penalty doesn't really amount to much. If you get anything more than about a second...
He's picked up another one.
He's run wide there. And that's the thing when you serve a penalty. Oh, Walker's picked up a penalty as well.
He hasn't got a penalty from going wide there.
Get away with that.
Might have been off the power or something. Maybe the game determined that
he knows one of the stewards.
Advantage out of it. Probably.
What's going on?
Here we go.
Tell you what, he's got a good run on him.
Going to get interesting.
Well done. Good pass. There's 2 penalties there, is there?
Yeah, Dids and Walker have both got penalties.
Always behind Dids there.
So behind Dids we have Extreme.
Extreme New Zealand.
In the Ned Racing outfit.
I like that.
This is going to be interesting. Yeah, with 2 cars, 2 blokes serving penalties.
So they pull off to the right, both of them here. I reckon he's within fire on you. No. They've blocked him up.
They've blocked, yeah. Extreme's really got nowhere to go. Oh, don't know if the stewards will look too kindly at that.
Yeah.
That's a bit... anyway, jog on. It's below our pay grade,
for sure. So we've got a good bit happening here. Good battle pack happening here. We have a bit of a train with myself, Piercy, Walker, Extreme and Dids. All within very close proximity to each other.
Extreme's lost a bit of time there. He was right on the back of those.
Yeah, Extreme's still there in the mix. Cars are a little bit shaky going down into this sector. I found the Camaro was a little bit slippery. I don't know if the track was just a bit slippery or what it was going through that technical section there, but some parts of the track it felt like it could really get the power down well in sort of like a spot where you wouldn't expect to get the power down, and other parts where you'd think you could just plant the accelerator and the car just wanted to slide a little bit.
close up ahead there. There's Walker. Oh, here we go.
It's here.
What's going on here? Is Scotty going to have a dive? No. Short of it. Oh, he's gone wide. He's gone wide. Oh, side by side here. Scotty just there. That'll be in the apex of the corner.
Tell you what, Scotty.
Crisscross.
This group that you're involved in, need to pull your fingers out.
Yeah.
We're 1 or 2 laps off from being a quarter of the way through the race.
If we go back up to the front of the field, sort of got a little breakaway group here happening.
It's like a consistent group. Might not be. Oh, he's a little bit loose coming out there.
It's half a tank of juice, so we expect a minute, probably lap 13, maybe.
Oh,
he's gone wide again. Is he going to pick up paddling for that?
I don't know. I don't know if
Gets
he
away with it.
Gets away with it.
More power to him.
We've got Rolls in second place. Ando patiently sitting behind there in third. They've opened up a bit of a gap to Lewis. He seems to have dropped off the back here a little bit. He was right up there with them.
Is he in here? So it's from Scotty, Pearcey, Walker together again.
Still got this battle group happening. This was had me sweating quite a bit, having all these guys behind me. Trying to sort of catch up to Aussie while still trying to keep the other guys behind me. It's quite a balancing act.
One eye forward, one eye back.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not a bad looking Coca-Cola car, that.
Yeah, some of these liveries are pretty good. I like the Ned one. I like the green on the black.
Piercy thought about a move there.
Oh, here he goes.
Gets a bit of a better run out of turn one than what I could get, so gets the move done.
Someone pull it up.
Just gets it pulled up.
All these other people in.
So if we go back to it a bit, there's a little bit of a pack happening back here. You've got Griffo, you've got Wayne still in his hovercraft mode.
Well, look at that.
You've got Griffo.
Super GT, that must be off-putting. How you going to try for that?
Yeah, I don't know how she did it, but she did. We've got Chops here trying to catch up. Jack Daniels racing car.
Bit of a throwback.
Where's Rusty?
Yeah, Rusty's all the way back here. I don't know what's happened to Rusty.
What's going on there? Oh, hang on. Is he going a one-stopper?
He could be.
Hey, look at his fuel.
Look at his fuel. Yeah, he's got
better fuel than everyone else, and he's not even hitting the just touching the yeah, no. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the apex, yeah.
Yeah, but his rev bar isn't even lighting up. He's really saving fuel.
That's yeah. What's his lap times? He's in the 30s.
Yeah.
Interesting.
How's that compared to the front runners?
Well, Rolls has hit the lead. He's 26s. He's nearly 4 seconds a lap slower.
4 that's not going to work.
No.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work,
no.
Yeah. Ooh, it's going to be a nasty
In 10 laps, he'll already be more than a pit stop behind.
Yeah, exactly. 40 seconds down, and it's a 30-odd second pit stop, so... Yeah, I think you might be on the wrong strategy here.
Someone's going to lose their job over that one.
Yes. So we've got Rolls with the fastest lap of the race so far, doing a 1:26.1. You can see how bumpy it is coming through turn 1 there. You've got to be so careful getting on the power.
Absolutely, can unsettle it, can't it?
Ah, for sure.
Ando's caught up a bit with these.
Ando's caught up to the pack. Rolls, sorry, not Rolls. We're on Rolls. Lewis seems to have dropped off a little bit more too. Seems to be a bit further back than when we last checked. So whether he's trying to save a bit more fuel than the others and take a bit shorter pit stop.
Well, Rolls is using the juice there, isn't he? What's he got, a quarter left? What's Spud got there?
Spud's got even less.
Oh, okay.
Ando's got a little bit more than Rolls.
Okay, so they're pushing. How's Lewis?
No, Lewis is about the same as Spud, so he seems to be doing similar lap times. So unless he's made a mistake somewhere, like gotten a bit squirrely coming out of a corner and had to lift off, which around this circuit is almost a death sentence, given how long some of these straights are.
There's still a massive bit of a gap there to Ozzy.
Ozzy's only just coming around the last corner now. We have some people in the pits. We've got Pearsey pitting.
And here
Dids
they
is
come.
pitting. Dids is pitting. He's on fumes.
How's Griffo? Is Griffo coming in?
Where was Griffo? No, Griffo's stayed out.
Griffo's out. Oh, he saved a bit more than those fellas. Yeah, Griffo out, Super GT out.
I'm still out. Stream's still out.
So they've come in lap 10. And he's out of fuel. They're in trouble.
Yeah.
32 lap race.
Sure, if they keep that up, that's lap 10, 20 and 30. That's a 3-stopper.
It's a 3-stopper. Well, that might actually fly into somewhere. He might add a couple there.
Who knows? Might bring Tricky back into the fold later on. If they've got to do a 3-stopper and he's on a 1.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah,
I still don't know if a 1-stopper is the way to go around here.
Yeah, it just doesn't add up.
I don't see how you can come back. Our leaders are in. Ando's got the most amount of fuel, which is hardly surprising, seeing he's been sitting in the slip of the others the whole time, so he can lift off and sort of let the other guys pull him along. So it looks like the rest of the field's coming in on lap 11.
Ando might be able to get a leapfrog here.
Yeah, because he's got more fuel than both of them, so that's less fuel he's got to put in his car. Chop stays out. That's surprising. So Chops is elected to go again, but who's going to come out ahead here? Ando comes out. Yeah.
I have not seen a closer nose to tail.
No.
Wear those tyres out as soon as you come out of the pits.
Had to be careful. You had to be so careful coming out of the pits not to just plant the accelerator. Being an uphill section, all you do is just spin your tyres.
Up a pit lane penalty there, Scotty?
I don't think so. think the only one who hasn't pitted yet is Wayno's settled down. He's engaged his car mode.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
Hey, we have traction. How's his tyre wear?
Yeah, pretty good considering he just made a pit stop. Piers is in, so that gets Rolls and Spud and Ando back up the front, and Lewis.
Where's that put Rusty? Rusty's
can't find it. Where is he?
Should be up there.
So just flip through a bit. Rusty, there he is. He's in fifth.
He's in fifth under pressure from Aussie. Aussie gets around. Yeah, he's heavy fuel, so
yeah.
What's he got there? Oh, no.
So he's still got just under half a tank. So let's just compare Aussie. So coming down here, Aussie gets a top speed of. So Aussie's hitting 260. Quite see what Rusty was. I don't think it would have been 260 though if he's revving the car as short as what he is. So now he's under threat from Walker.
Oh, he's had another look.
Walker will get him here. Yep. Walker gets it done.
This is next.
Have we figured out which Walker that is? If it's not Murray, is it Paul or Max?
Max, I think.
Extreme makes the move. Gets it.
Yes.
Oh, he runs wide though. Is he going to get a paddling?
Oh.
Oof. He's now dropped 2 spots for that.
Did he go wide or was he forced?
No, he did it himself. I'm pretty sure he did it himself.
Yeah, look like
self-inflicted. Oh.
Self-inflicted run wide.
No,
so he's already dropped 2 seconds.
No smack on the wrist.
Shows you how much it costs you.
But Stewart's must have had some sympathy. He's lost enough time.
Yeah. So I might just go back to the front guys for a while.
Bit of a shout out to Griffo. I noticed he's bearing the sponsors' colours.
Yeah, for sure. So Ando's dropped back a little bit. He did come out right under, with his car pretty much inside of Spud's.
Bit of an intimate pit exit, that one, wasn't it?
It sure was. And joining us now in the commentary box, we have Mr. Ando.
The man himself. His ears must be burning.
They must be.
knows he's on TV. No, mate. No, you're just you're being very intimate with Spud there, exiting the pits.
Oh yes. What a battle.
Very close.
Yeah, you can see the screen all right, Ando?
Not yet, mate. I'm just getting myself a little after-work beverage, and I'll be joining you down in the CCP. I'll be with you shortly.
So we're up to lap 15 now. We're about halfway through lap 15.
Yeah, very good. So the first pit stops have happened.
First pit stops have
Everyone
done. We saw how
has realised that it's a two-stopper.
Everyone except for Rusty, mate. But Rusty's he hasn't been in yet.
Yeah, I think he might have pitted early and took a splash of fuel or something.
No, I don't think so.
He's trying the one stopper, is he?
He's trying to stop that way. Yeah.
His rev bar isn't even lining up as he's going along, and
yep, bold attempt.
I think
novel strategy.
Apparently he's got a new engineer coming next week.
Yeah, because he's just sacked his.
He might need one.
Yeah, for sure. So
he's looking behind those. Oh, here we go.
So Spud is right under under the right under the rear wing of Rolls. It was the other way around just before.
Spud looking for a move, I reckon, coming up.
What was that? Sorry.
Spud be going for a move shortly, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he's gotten a few cleaner lines on these last few turns.
Definitely got that Mustang hooked up.
Yeah. Someone must have worked really. Oh, Rolls has picked himself up a penalty.
Oh, here we go. 0.5.
He's definitely a bit more loose than the Mustang.
Yeah, he certainly seems to be throwing it around a bit more.
Yes, he can't be doing that too much.
No, you can't.
Oh, he's just picked up a second penalty.
Oh, he's got another one.
Oh, he's now up to 1 second now for penalties.
Well, he's going to have to push now. I need to keep out of Spud.
Yep. So, yeah, as we said before, a half-second penalty you can sort of get away with around here in these cars, but a 1 second penalty might be pushing the envelope a bit.
Yeah, there'll be a change of position here, and I think even third place might get up to challenge him, but...
Yeah, I think Ando's going to get invited here.
Oh, car gets a little bit squirrely coming out of turn 4. Does that allow Spud to close up a bit? I think it does.
What's the gap there, mate, with Spud?
I'd probably say that'd be 0.3, 0.4 of a second, somewhere around there. He moves off the race.
He's managed to gap him a bit here. Yeah, he might be able to defend this.
This is done.
Not quite.
No, falls in behind. But that third place guy is way too slow. Nowhere near him.
No, he needs to lift his game.
Yes, I think third place left his walking stick in pit lane. He's dropped off a bit.
Yeah, he's looking good on fuel and tyres though. He remains relevant.
Letting that Lewis catch up
to the equation.
Can never ride him off.
I like the way Spud can run right out wide there on turn 1 and not get a paddling.
Yeah, if your right hand rims don't touch the yellow sausage, you're good.
Okay.
So he's pushing the absolute limits, that's for sure. And yeah, I think someone just said there, look at Lewis, he's actually coming back to the pack. He's having a really good stint here. He's really pushing. In 4th place there.
We're going back to Lewis. Yeah, I think he's made up a bit of time here. I think he was a bit further back.
Well, he's just done the fastest lap of the race, has he not? He's done a 26 flat 26 there.
Flat.
So he's flying. He's Neville Bardos right now.
He is back.
And he's looking. He's saying to himself, "I'll push. I don't care if I use up my tyres a bit. I just want to get back in slip." So he's trying to get within slip of 3rd place. Then he's well and truly is joining the party.
He's burning his rears.
He's burning his rears a bit quicker than his fronts.
Yeah, that's the Mustang's Achilles heel, and you'll notice Spud in his first stint was getting a bit taily. The Mustang doesn't like the end of the stint.
Right.
Whereas the Camaro seems to be able to circulate on worn tyres a lot more easily. Does depend on the tune though, of course.
Yeah.
You can tune the tyre wear. Don't know where Lewis's brake balance is there, but he's definitely hammering those rears in an attempt to join the party. He's lighting up the rears there on the exit of turn 3. Interesting to see their fuel state.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say that. They all pitted on lap 10, the front runners. And we were thinking, this might be a 3-stopper, 10, 20, 30. But we're at lap 19, and it looks like they're going to be going beyond the 20 lap mark.
Yeah, There's a couple of guys up the tail end are a bit in trouble. They came in on lap 10s. They'll have to make it.
So Spud out the front.
No,
He's
it's
got nearly a third of a tank left. Third or a quarter?
So the magic number's 11, and it's pretty easy to do 11 laps on a tank. So that's what these front runners are going to do, I'd say, and that keeps it at a 2-stopper, because the pit stop here is excessively long, 32, 33 seconds plus just for tyres. So you definitely want to try and make that 2-stopper work, which some of the back markers I think are going to struggle with, as Kez said, pitted on lap 10. They're revving the cars out, which you'll see these front runners, they do not do, and that's the difference. So 11 laps was the magic number for this race.
Sorry, that was my fault. I said front runners. I was wrong. I'm trying to keep up with Scotty.
So it's well and truly a battle pack here now, the top three running. Closing up a bit, you can see there's Spud's tyre wear. His rears are screaming for mercy a little bit, and that is slowing him down out of each slow corner. And he's having to control. He's got masterful control, though, of the slide. With that controller that he's on, he really does have that thing on a string.
I was just about to say that Spud is a controller guy. He doesn't have a wheel.
Some would say the controller use is giving him a bit of a break there, so it helps him control the car a little bit. Yeah. But others will say no, it's definitely a skill that you have to learn and acquire, and Spud's definitely mastered it.
Bless the Spud, nothing wrong with the controller.
Just have a look at Rolls' fuel for us there, Scott.
Rolls' fuel. He's got a smidge more.
Yeah, he's just using that slip to his advantage there. That's why
he's revving the car a bit. I think third place is looking a bit better on fuel.
I'd agree with that.
Maybe.
What about Lewis? Where's Lewis? Oh, Lewis has just dipped into the red.
Yeah, so he's going to struggle.
A little bit slidey there.
But they'll all be in this lap, so he's going to make it. His strategy is going to work, but he's going to lose time refueling. The refueling rate here is not too slow, but at 8 litres a second, it still will amount to a fair bit of time he's going to lose in this pit stop.
Are they all blinking red, are they? They'll stay out for
Spud
no, there's not really any point.
Spud will probably start blinking red this lap. Yep. Oh, Lewis is in. Yeah, I don't think he had quite enough left in the tank for one more. So he's gone.
But he'll finish with a 10-lap stint, so he might even underfuel here a little bit if he wants to be really aggressive with his strategy. Let's see how much he takes. Or we can't quite tell, can we? Well, we'll see when he comes out what fuel he's on. A 10-lap stint. He might just fill it up and say, I'm just going to go hell for leather. Let's see what he refuels to. Yep, he's filled it up.
He's just going to go like a bat out of
So he's got 10 laps to do. 11. He's going to have to do 11 laps though.
Yes.
Sorry, my math's slightly wrong.
So he comes out in 9th. He's got Super VT right behind him.
Super VT Commodore in a Mustang.
Yes.
They look like their teammates, are they?
Yes, it was a late switch from the team, I believe, and Monica was not happy at all, being a Holden General Motors fan from way back. Drives a VT Commodore herself, and she was very, very reluctant to jump in the Mustang for this series. But
VT, good model.
Once again,
she took one for the team, though. Took one for the team. So good on it.
Under protest, was it?
It was.
See how close they all
But
come
yeah,
out here.
Ando there, he's got a little bit more fuel, but nothing really significant. So these cars are going to come out pretty close to each other again, which just goes to show how close the running is here with these cars. The parity's pretty good. Boys have been working on their tunes for a few weeks, and they're very, very even at the front.
How's Rusty going, mate?
Oh, look at that!
Oh, you're saying it's a carbon copy of the 54.
Mate, you two guys need to get a room, seriously.
You can't be doing that.
Yes.
Well, jump rolls.
I've jumped a little bit, but look what happens here.
Oh,
runs a little bit deep, pushes Spud wide, and Rolls says thank you very much with the beautiful switchback move, and he just inherits the lead again. So all that hard work done by saving fuel in the second stint has just been undone into turn 3.
Yeah.
And Rolls back into the lead.
Hando back in third, Spud back in second.
So the status quo resumes.
Yep.
As you were.
Lewis is about the same distance as before.
Yeah, but he's going to be fuel saving to get the 11 laps, whereas the top 3 only have to do 10. So they should drive away from him here.
We'll have a look at the rest of the field now. See what everyone.
I tell you what, that.
Yeah,
good idea, but that would have been frustrated. Would have been frustrating for Lewis to see the leaders come out just out of slipstream again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chops is in.
Unlucky, dude.
Let's see where Chops comes out.
Just thinking there, Lewis nearly made it work, because if he had have latched onto the back of the top 3, he would have been in fuel saving heaven. He would have been able to just sit back and relax and make a concerted attack in the last 2 or 3 laps. But it just didn't work for him, unfortunately.
Well, this is Chops. This is his second stop, isn't it?
Yeah, this will be his second.
Mick, is Jeff there? Can he make us another gin and tonic by any chance, can he? But the first one went down pretty easy.
Chops rejoins in third.
Might have to jump on the Cascade.
Is Rusty still 15?
Rusty's still 15.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there'll definitely be talks in that shed after this race.
Yeah. Seems to have picked up his pace a little bit though. He's gone from doing 31s back down to 28. So
28, yeah, he'd be going for it now. Well, he can afford to now.
So he pitted on lap 21. So has he given away the one stopper? Is that what he's done?
Rusty, no, he's only pitted once.
How can you do 21 laps on a tank? I don't understand what he's been doing. That's why I think he might have pitted early. He might have had damage or something and had to pit early. We missed it.
No, we didn't see any. He's been on his own the whole race.
Yeah, but he's pitted on lap 21. Are you telling me he did 21 laps on a tank?
I've got 2 pits on there. I'll have to buzz out and buzz back in. See what comes out.
I think those 2 pits are pitting and pit out.
Pit in and pit out, yeah.
Shops has sort of latched onto this little battle group here. Got Super VT, you've got Wayne, you've got Dids.
Jeff's asking if you want 1 or 2, Ando.
1 ice, thanks.
Ooh, Wayne's making a move on Dids.
Make it a double.
Make it a double, Jeff.
Wayno's, interestingly, this is the way the game works. After his pit stop, he's actually back on terra firma.
Yeah, we were talking about that before.
Right, that glitch has gone away, thank heavens.
Yeah, it's been awkward.
Super VT's now made a move on Dids, gotten past him.
Yeah, nice little move, but he's...
So Dids has gone for the switchback.
Yeah, Dids with the switchback here.
Yep.
There's a good little battle ensuing. Super VT holds on. Holds onto the inside line there, defends it well. Let's have a look at Ditz's shift points here. He's revving the car pretty hard. But
thanks, Jeff. One for each kidney.
He's got 3/4 of a tank left. They said they got heaps of fuel, these guys.
It's like Wayne's been able to pull a bit of a gap over Super VT.
Now he doesn't have much fuel, poor old Wayno. He's got less than half a tank. I think he's going to have to pit again. He's got 7 laps to do on less than half a tank. That ain't going to work.
No.
He's revving the absolute out of that.
Yeah, so he's maybe going to be looking for another strategist along with Rusty.
Yeah, maybe the share on the
before round 2.
Same guy.
Yeah, they'll either share or they'll swap. Neck is definitely being rung over there, isn't it? He's up it.
Yeah. So he's pulling away, but it's going to hurt him because it's going to cost him another 33-second pit stop he's got ahead of him. So Super VT, I practiced with her a fair bit leading up to round 1, and she definitely is showing pace, and I'm talking 26's pace. So expect her to do well in this series, I think. Besides Spud, I think she's the only Mustang I've seen in the 26s. Her problem, she admits to me, is consistency. There's the odd mistake still creeping in, and there we saw one there, possibly. Maybe a paddling coming up.
Yep.
And there it is. Bug up. Commentator's curse right there. So she just needs to iron out she just needs to iron out those little unforced errors, and she may well be a force to be reckoned with in Supercars.
We'll see if
been a change up the top there, Scotty.
It has been. I just saw that. Ando himself has gotten by Spud.
Yeah, I think Spud got a little penalty or something, I think, or he made a mistake. He got a little bit taily in turn 7, I think, and that allowed me to waltz on through. And I'm sitting there in second now thinking, job done. I know Spud's going to maybe get a bit slower with his rears turning off on him, and I had plenty of fuel, so I was happily revving out a little bit and expecting to drive away, but unfortunately not to be. Hashtag unforced errors.
Whoops.
Oh,
there we have one.
There we go.
There it is.
A little Wes Curly
hashtag
shuffle.
Right on time. Yeah. Avoided the tank slapper though, so I was very happy to catch that one.
If I was a betting man, I'd say you knew that was going to happen.
These things
it's almost
so
like
hard
this
to
race
catch.
was run a few days ago and we're watching a replay of it.
Yes.
You'd swear. Telekinesis or something.
That's the thing with these cars; they are so hard to catch once the back starts stepping out.
Yeah, you've got to get out of the throttle very, very quickly.
Yeah. It's
Otherwise, it's good night, Irene.
Yeah, it's got to be like an instantaneous reaction to it.
I'll tell you what, Canardley is rolling on.
Yeah, this is where he's just showed his class here in this third stint. He's just put the hammer down. And you have a look at his lap times there. 26.2, 26.1, 26 flat, 26 flat, 26.1. That is absolutely flying. And, you know, the fastest lap being just the 26 flat. So he's basically doing purple laps, 4 or 5 of them in a row. And that's what's allowed him to gap yours truly and Spudley. The two of us having our little fair share of unforced errors and little battles didn't help as well. So Rolls here really put the hammer down, and this is where he's won the race.
It's got to be one of those series where if you got to keep it as clean as you can.
Yeah, these cars demand your full attention for the full 50 minutes of the race. Yep. You need to be very precise with your inputs. You need to use all the track, as you can see him there doing. You got to know where the track limits are, and you've got to be super careful of where you can loop it, whether that be on an entry curb or an exit curb or an apex curb. You've got to identify where the problem corners are and make sure you just stay consistent and no mistakes. I think we all know where the problem corner is on the next track though, don't we?
Yes.
Just a little
fenced out chicane.
A little fenced out chicane, yeah. Could prove exciting.
Always exciting in that track. One of the original ones in the game.
Could be some carnage.
Lando's still right there behind Spud, putting the pressure on.
I'm trying my best. We are really pushing here. You can probably see the cars squirming around there. We are both really pushing because we know this is money time. So Spud is pushing the car to the absolute limit, and I'm just pushing like crazy just to stay with him.
Hoping he's going to make a bit of a mistake that you can capitalise on.
Exactly. So if I was to drop back and he got a half-second penalty, it would be for naught. Here he is, a bit taily. There's my opportunity. But unfortunately, I didn't have a good enough run myself. And up into turn one, just got to play it safe and tuck back in. The Camaro, unfortunately, is a lot worse under braking. So it's very hard to make a dive up the inside into a corner.
It's like trying to pull the Titanic up.
It is. Compared to the Mustang, it's very good under braking comparatively. So there was not much chance for me.
Have you?
What was that, sorry?
I've never done that before.
What's that?
Pulled up the Titanic? That sounds pretty difficult.
It is.
Don't start Scotty on his Titanic trivia. Scotty, the historian that he is an absolute encyclopedia on Titanic.
Yeah. Love my old ships.
Tidbits.
Especially the Olympic class of ships.
Was it an iceberg, Scotty?
Yes, it was.
Copy.
No conspiracy theories. They weren't around in 1911. But the Camaro definitely an Olympic class supercar, is it, Scotty?
Yes.
It's about that. The Mustang a little bit more nimble, I think.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a little bit harder to drive. So.
Yeah. Pros and cons. You can see Spud's getting a bit squirrely under brakes there.
I like the sound of the Mustang.
Yeah, it sounds very not as throaty or deep as the Camaro, but definitely like that screaming V8 sound is quite addictive, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And all our excitement here, we're up to the last lap. Can Ando pull something out of his hat and get past Spud?
That's why you can't even see Rolls now. He's that far ahead.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's that far. Come on,
there he is.
He just he's
no, he definitely's checked out. He's checked out.
I've heard about Ando's party tricks.
Yeah.
Might not be able to pull a rabbit out of his hat, but he can pull a hair out of his ass.
I don't know if that's gonna get me into second place tonight, but you can
goes
see I'm definitely asking the question. Spud has to defend into turn 9. That compromises him into turn 10. Ando goes for the switchback. Rolls takes the win, and you can see there second and third. Right. There wasn't much in it there, folks.
Not at all. Probably
and he made it.
Lewis is on fumes.
And Lewis, sole fourth. Well done, mate. He was a late entrant into the series, a replacement for someone, I think. So hats off to him for producing a fourth place with very little practice. And our old friend Aussie here, as we like to call him, Aussie Fifth Nodic. I've never seen someone inherit so many fifth places. Walker in seventh. Scotty in sixth, of course. Extreme New Zealander in eighth. Peasy. So the Camaro train continues on. Chops in 10th.
Chops was a bit off tonight.
Comes across the line with a
off Chops
1.5 second penalty. That'd round up to 2 seconds, wouldn't it? Doesn't it round the penalties up if you cross the line with them?
I think so, but I think he was far enough ahead that it didn't change his position.
Here comes Rusty.
And Rusty on the alternate strategy, I guess you could call it. Worth a try, but unfortunately no cigar there for him tonight.
Hopefully, lesson learned.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta have a good strategist in your corner.
And unfortunately, his is joining up the Centrelink on Monday.
Might be.
He'll be first in line at the door for when they open.
Hope he's got his CV up to date.
Well, that was exciting, if I say so myself.
Yeah, apologies, boys. I was a little late home from work. Missed the start.
That's all right.
That's all right, mate. You're flying into a headwind. All should be forgiven.
And there we have it. Round one
there we
of
have
the MotorMotion Shawfire Supercar Series.
Only 2 Mustangs in the top 10.
Yeah, but
they're a little bit outnumbered.
They're both in the top 4. That's a pretty good
effort.
Pretty good result. Yeah, especially to get them to parity with the Camaro. Because that was always going to be the issue, wasn't it, Ando? That the Camaro would outperform the Mustang.
Yep.
So it's more a matter of trying to reduce the Camaro's influence than trying
its
to bring
advantage.
the
The
Mustangs
Camaro
up,
is inherently just the faster car around Red Bull and a couple of other tracks at least. I haven't tested them at all tracks, but that's the problem. We had to bring the PP down so that the Camaro would have to give something away because it's just all in all just too good a car. I think it's got the advantage of having a lot more torque, so it's got a much better power curve than the Mustang. I think that is its main advantage. And it corners pretty well. It doesn't brake too well, but it corners well, so it gets the power down well. So that was always the problem. It had a bit of an edge, but we seem to have settled on a PP level that gives the best parity we can anyway.
So I wonder if the guys from the actual V8 Supercar series will be watching this going, I wonder how we can make our cars more equal like that.
Yeah, possibly.
Let's get in touch with this Ando guy and get him out on track.
Get him up here. He's a Victorian.
Being the Red Bull ring, I dare say Roland Dane had front row seats to that.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, quite possibly.
I think I can see him sitting in the crowd there.
I thought I saw him.
Yeah, it will actually be interesting though once the Supercar series actually starts to see what the parity is between the Camaro and the Mustang. Yeah,
I'm not an avid Supercars fan, so in recent times has there been a bit of an issue, has there? Was it the Mustangs, is it, that got the advantage?
No,
there was a little bit of disparity there because the Mustang is a 2-door car stretched over a 4-door chassis. So that's why it looked a little bit disproportionate, whereas this year the Mustangs are going to be more representative of the road-going vehicle.
Yeah, but I don't care what they look like. What were their lap times? Like, were they...
Well, initially, the word was the Mustang had an advantage, but it's been like that. It's been like that forever and a day. A new model comes out in one car, they've got the advantage, and they bring out the next model, they've got an advantage.
That's right. It's been like that since the Cordias and the Starions and the GTRs and then the Sierra Volvos came out, then the Volvo came out. Yeah. So it's always a game of cat and mouse between the regulators and the teams, isn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be one of those guys on the technical side for quids, would you? It'd be a tough gig.
Yeah, for sure. But it looks like Spud's got a good engineer and a good strategist and a good tuner. So he's made the Mustang work. So as the person responsible for the parity, I think I owe Spud a beer or two, because I was a bit worried about the Mustang's pace, but Spud has proven that it can be done. So hopefully the other Mustang steerers will get a hold of Spud's tune or get some tips from Spud, and they might be up the pointy end like he is.
Especially his teammate, yeah. They should start sharing the engineers, I think.
Yeah, maybe. You would think that would be a given, wouldn't you? But possibly for round one something went awry there. Yeah. His teammate didn't get the memo.
Yeah, must have hit a bird on the way through.
Yeah, we didn't see him having off or anything like that. Yeah, he was just trying that alternate strategy. I mean, look.
Just an interesting time to pit on a one-stopper on lap 21. I'll have to go over the replay again myself to see what happened with him, but he didn't finish too far off.
No, he brought
car
it back,
in front of him. Yeah, so it sort of paid dividends in the end, but unfortunately he had to give too much away at the start. It just was not viable, being 4 seconds a lap down from the get-go.
Yeah, well, there was those two chaps who had to pit on lap 10 as well, so I can't remember what actually happened to them. They would have had to go on some serious fuel saving there as well, so maybe that's what brought him closer to him.
Yeah, I mean that's a viable strategy to do 10 laps in the first stint, then you just got to bring it home with two 11-lap stints, which is fine. But what? Yeah, I just
they were out of juice on 10 though.
Well, that's right. So they would have had to really tone it back.
Yeah.
I dare say they would have used fuel map even to not just fuel, short shifting and lift and coast. They probably would have fuel mapped a bit to get two stints of 11 out of it. But they realised that the two-stopper was the only real strategy that was viable.
Yeah.
So hopefully Rusty can get a strategist that's on the same page for round two.
Man, is round two? Is that Tuesday? Is it?
Yeah, it's this Tuesday. It's at Dragon Trail, Seaside, one of our old favourites with the dreaded death chicane, the COD, chicane of death, the death chicken.
Absolute carnage to be had.
Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting because it's a real risk-reward corner. It's a complex. It always has been, but even more so in these cars because MotorMotion Shawfire from Kirui Henri series are running heavy damage. So if you get damage through that death chicane, it's going to basically put pay to your race. So it's going to be very interesting to see how much conservatism each driver takes through that chicane of death, because I've tried with practice in the last few days and I can carry nearly 200 k's through there if I get it just right.
Yeah.
But every third lap I come a cropper. So I'm going to have to slow it right down to about 185 through there in order to avoid making that mistake, but that just ruins your lap. So it's going to be really interesting to see how everyone approaches the next round Dragon Trail. And how
do the cars go over those bumps through there? The ripple strips, because on the G3s when you hit those pretty hard, that's what sends you.
It does, but
the beauty springs and ride heights, or
the beauty is the tuning is on, so that's definitely going to be something that's taken into account by everyone's engineers when they tune the cars and set them up for this track. You're going to want them to be a little bit more forgiving so that you can hit that death chicane and really be aggressive at straight lining it. But if you've got the car running a little bit too low or a little bit too stiff, then it's going to end in tears.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the trade-off, and I think testing is the hot tip from Ando. I know it's a little bit late in the piece, but we've got 2 or 3 days left till round 2, and it's going to require. I think it's going to be the guys that do the most testing and practice there that are going to be the ones that come out on top.
One thing, a lot of people running the traction control for these in these cars here tonight. Not that it's a bad thing, but maybe they need to look at some diff settings or something like that as well.
Yeah, it's normally a bad thing, but with these cars, it's actually quite possibly a good thing. I'm dead set against it, and I've made that known to all the boys in chat quite often. But I realise that it's these cars are that hard to handle that sometimes it is better to run traction control on 1 or 2, and it saves your tyres, and it does hurt your traction, your exit and acceleration out of the slow corners. But what it does do is it saves you from that, having that unforced error, that looping it out of turn 3 at Red Bull Ring. That's the risk at all times when you've got traction control at 0. So running it at 1 or 2, that may well be strategically the way to go.
Yeah, just getting out of turn 3 here, you can see them lighting it up, and even turn 1. The TC was running pretty hard for a couple of cars.
Yep. So it normally in this game it kills your lap time because it really hinders your acceleration, but the advantages of it may outweigh the disadvantages in this case.
Yeah, well, they
with these cars,
on the track, so that's pretty good.
Anyway, I guess we wrap it up now, Scotty.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys for coming out tonight, for volunteering your time. We really appreciate it, and hopefully
it's good to see.
Yeah, hopefully
good concept.
We can call on your expertise for maybe a few more rounds.
Absolutely, count me in.
Yeah, it's been fun. Been watching.
Why not?
Fun watching what happens through the rest of the field, because you don't get to see that when you're racing. You're only seeing what you're doing. So to be able to go back through the replay and see what everyone else is doing and whatnot, it always.
It's a good battle up front, good mid-pack battle, and good battle up to the rear as well.
Yeah, everyone sort of seemed to break off into their battle packs and sort of stuck with each other.
Next race.
Yes.
And apologies to the viewers. I don't think any of us in the CC. the central commentary position tonight, were watching the chat on YouTube. So it's good to see you guys are there saying g'day. Shout out to Super VT, CH3F, whoever that is. Motion Media, I think I know who that is.
That would be CH3F, Endo.
Hashtag Jeff. Hashtag Squirrel.
Yes.
But yeah, no, keep it up, guys. Like, always willing to see what you have to say on the chat while we're streaming. And yeah, hopefully we can do this again for the next round.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I probably should have had the stream up on the phone, keeping an eye on the comments. But we know for next time now, so for sure. Well, from everyone here at the commentary box, thank you for coming out tonight and watching the stream. We thoroughly appreciate it. We hope you guys have had as much of a good time as what we have. Once again, thank you to Ando and to Mick and to Kez for giving their time to join us here in the commentary box.
Pleasure's all yours, Scotty.
It was fun. I'm sorry I missed the first stint and a half.
That's all right. We'll let you off the hook this time.
This one time.
This one time. And hopefully we will see you all for the next round, which is this coming Tuesday night at Dragon Trail. So on behalf of everyone at MotorMotion, thank you very much. Have a good evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Bye, folks.
Endo out.
See you guys.